Yes, folks. How we doing? How we doing? Welcome back to the Pear Pod. Welcome back to possibly the noisiest apartment block in Marbella. It is rampant with activity today. We've got people downstairs, oh God knows, like blowing leaves. They're fucking cutting trees down outside. There's like 2 apartments on the bottom floor getting ripped apart, which is sending the dogs going mad. So it is not ideal podcast surroundings. But man, I was talking to Myrne yesterday, and I was like, man, how sick would it be to have like a designated place where I went to film podcasts, a little like HQ. So it's a little manifestation going on, putting that out into the world. But yeah, welcome back everyone. How you doing? Sunglasses, okay? Understand, probably look like a prick. Very simple reason for it. I watched the last podcast, and I'm doing a lot of squinting, and I look down a lot just because these lights are so bright. I don't have any diffusers on them. Hence the crisps. No, hence the sunglasses. People who are watching, I'm going to do those. I'm just going to make those references, and if people understand them, they do, and if they don't, I'm not going to explain them. But yeah, I am a man. But yeah. What's been going on this week? Big old week for me. First of all, tax season. I had to, for the first year of my life, I had to do my taxes, or at least look back at the year 2020 and then review it and get all my shit together to file for my self-employment tax and make those payments. Just a pain in the fucking hole, man, to be honest. And I can see why. You know, like, you hear of like influencers and stuff who struggle with paying their taxes and stuff at the beginning because there's a lot of money coming in, they don't keep track of it or whatever. I can see how that happens, man. I have very few payments into my account and like I was still like, fuck, I need to go back and like check everything. So like I can see why, if you were making decent money, keeping track of all your in and outcomings and like different sponsorship deals you do, and then different like monetization stuff from YouTube and all that kind of stuff, could be a fucking pain in the hole and could get you in a bit of trouble. But no one teaches you about they kind of do. Like I did business in school, but like no one, I didn't know any of this. Do you know what I mean? And it kind of like, to me, it's kind of a broken system because I had to go out and get an accountant and get someone to file it for me just because I don't know how. And there's always the worry that I'll do it wrong and I'll get myself into trouble down the line because I didn't fill out my taxes, you know, correctly at the start. So I don't want to do that. So like, in order to do that correctly, you got to fucking hire someone to do it. Fortunately, because of the industry I'm in, any gear that I buy can be written off for taxes. Hopefully no one from the revenue is watching this. I think that's legal though. So yeah, you fuck off. But yeah, that was a big part of my week. Got that sorted early on in the week, which was a relief. But that's coming up. Do you know what I mean? And like, for people who work for themselves or in this new internet age or whatever, a lot more people are going to be working online and stuff. Got to remember to do that shit, folks, because it like there's deadlines and shit. You got to get it done by, and if you don't get it in time, like you're kind of fucked, and you'll get yourself into trouble down the road. So yeah, that was the start of my week. It was. Yeah, it was actually stressing me out a lot. Now it's kind of been done. I'm kind of more relaxed, which is good. But yeah, we had some semi-drama. Well, not drama, but the aircon unit behind me here has been leaking water, and it leaked down onto it's been leaking down, and it hits like, it only does a few drops when it's on, but it's a pain in the hole for the people down below us because apparently it hits like their units and makes a lot of noise. So one night we were like watching TV or something, and basically like yeah, knocked it. I opened it. I looked at the people anyway, and some fucking old lad. And I opened it. He goes, "Hello, mate." And I was like, "Fuck." And he goes, "Listen, just don't want to be a fucking prick," but literally said that. And he was like, "Your aircon unit is leaking and all." And I was like, "No, I'm well aware of it." And I'd called to get someone to sort it out, and I said that to him, and he was like, "Great." And I had like I put a call out to like Emilio, the most Spanish name in the world. He's actually the maintenance lad here, and I called him out to like come sort it essentially. And he I don't know what it is about. Like, a lot of benefits to Spain. People move slow here, and like it's kind of like I'll get to you if I can. So it was kind of like dead air for like 2 weeks, and then eventually someone came by yesterday and sorted it. But like, yeah, I was kind of you kind of ring, like I was ringing the machine. He kind of like, he doesn't respond to your text, so they were like, I'll get to you next week. It's just very slow, but that's just a culture thing, I think. But yeah, got that boxed. I want to go into this, but I'm not finished it yet. Should I go into it? Yeah, fuck it. As I am watching Squid Games, I know no one can reply, and I'm in my office talking to myself, but hopefully you're sitting at home answering, yes, Sam, yes, I have seen it. Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. It actually is, though. It's we watched it, we started it like this week or something, and it's fucking so sick, man. Obviously visually and stuff, it's like, just from a visual perspective, I think it's fucking amazing. The whole does anyone else get like, well, no one else probably, but the Harry Potter vibes, the little room they have to go through, like the winding room with all the colours, that is it's very like the moving staircases in Harry Potter. That's kind of what the room is. It's very tall and narrow, but it's so good, man. Super dark, obviously, super dark. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. Well, I'm not going to do major spoilers. We haven't finished yet. We're on the last episode today. But it's so good, man. And I'll tell you, I was a skeptic before of I think we've probably all have been, of watching a movie or watching a show with subtitles. And I remember when Parasite came out, which was it won an Oscar there, and another Korean film a couple of years ago, and that was subtitled or dubbed or something, and I couldn't get into it, which is surprising, because usually I'll like, if a film does that well, I'll appreciate it for some aspects, but I just couldn't get into it. But this one, Squid Games, because it's almost like, because of the nature of the show, dialogue obviously is important, but you can kind of understand what's going on when you get into it. Like, the dialogue is still important, but because of the simplicity of the concept, in terms of like, okay, well, minor spoilers, like the games and stuff like that, it's as soon as it gets into that part, like, you kind of understand it's very physical, and like it's kind of like kids when they go on holidays and there's other people or there's other kids there from different countries, they don't speak the same language, you can still play games together. Do you know what I mean? It's a common language almost. So I think that was definitely one element that made it like really digestible for people, even though it was I watched it subtitles. I can't believe I couldn't have watched it dubbed. Jesus. I know some people did, but we watched it for a second. It just looks fucked. So I'd rather watch it with subtitles. But man, super well written, unbelievable like twists and turns. And man, it's super like, it's very real in terms of the like the financial. Okay, I'm going to give one spoiler, and it's something that I really liked and I appreciate it from a filmmaking standpoint. Sometimes in movies like this or shows like this, these kind of like, the ones where you get guys in for these kind of like horrible tasks to like make huge amounts of money. These guys that are like down and out and have nothing to lose, and that's the concept of this show, I guess. And then for me, it's never really believable. I know that's obviously, none of this is believable because it wouldn't go on. But I mean, first with Squid Games, they made a constant effort, or they made a big effort in the beginning to make sure that we understood that all the main characters that we met, we needed to understand their motivation to go, and like they were very insistent on showing us that these guys had no other option. And I think that's important, because everyone's just going to be like, why would you go? You're going to die. Do you know what I mean? And it's important, if we're going to relate to any of these characters or like have an emotional connection with them, we have to, at least in some part of us, sympathize and almost relate to the situation they're in. So like obviously some of the lads have like kids that have no money, or like they're going to lose their house. Obviously those are minor ones. Some of them have like family that needs surgery, or like they're dying or something like that, and they've no other choice. And some of them have just like they're down now, there's nothing else, they've no other option. So but they were they made an effort to really highlight that. And I think the fact that they left at the start and they were given the option to leave and then come back, I think that was so... I know obviously they understand the importance of it, but I really appreciated it, because now I'm like, fuck, if they go and come back, because if it just went from the start when they get in there for the first time and they just go at it, you're like, man, none of them knew what was going to happen. You just mercilessly killed all these people. But the fact that the guys running the game were insistent on it being fair, and that the people being willing, made it all very, very much more real for me, I guess. So if you haven't watched it, there's a reason. You know these shows that take over, I'm trying to think of other ones, the shows that have taken over Netflix and everyone's talking about it like it's the next big thing. Making a Murder, Ozark, Breaking Bad, there's more. Those are the ones that stand out to me, and ones that I've like in terms of ones I enjoyed. Making a Murder was alright. The first one was good, but then just milking that bitch. But obviously Ozark's fucking class. Big Jason Bateman fan, huge Jason Bateman guy here, and who is obviously fucking Hal from Breaking Bad, or Walter. It's so funny. I was thinking this the other day. Remember the episode of Malcolm in the Middle? I actually prefer, as characters, I prefer Hal to Walter White. I think Hal's one of my favorite characters in TV ever. I think he's fucking amazing. But one of the episodes, Hal is he has a pirate radio show. He's called like Kid Charlemagne, and that's what I think now when I'm doing this voice break. Oh my god. Yeah, so a big shout out Bryan Cranston. But yeah, you see these shows take over Netflix, and you're like, there's no way it's as good as everyone says it is. I think if it rises Netflix stock that much and has that many watches and breaks that many accolades in terms of like the most watched show on Netflix and stuff like that, I think it has to be good. It can't just be a fad for that many people with different interests to all go in and watch it. So the hype is real. Very, very, very much real. It's fucking amazing. Look, we're going to watch the final one tonight. Probably going to cry. Yeah. It's really good, man. And the some of the other, like Saws and those movies like that, where it's just super gory, and you're like they got the balance. Here's what they did. They got the balance between like the reality and the goriness and the severity of the situation. They paired that perfectly. They got that spot on in terms of like every time someone gets killed and the gunshot, like you feel it in your core. But it's just the right amount of real where like you're not just completely turned off. There's not like people's eyes falling out of their heads every 2 minutes and you're just like, I can't even get into the story because it's just so gory. I think they got the level of gore perfect. So fair fucks, whoever. They'll definitely do more, I'm sure, because it's just such a triumph. And the concept's so easy. Get more characters and do it again and create new games. But yeah, man. It's just, it's very good. Let me see, what else is in the news? Actually, oh fuck yeah. This is sad, but I need to talk about it. Did anyone else see the news with Alec Baldwin? If you haven't heard, he was on a movie. He was in a movie called Rust. He was filming it. And he was given a prop gun, or what he believed to be a prop gun, and I believe they're doing a shot down camera, like he was supposed to shoot at the camera. That was the shot, and he was given a gun, and it was loaded, and he shot and killed the DOP, the director of photography. She was like a mum and like had a family and had worked on loads of movies, and she's dead, and the director got shot as well. And the more stuff that's coming out now, apparently there was like huge issues with like safety, and like apparently one of the crews, the original crew, actually left the set and like went on strike, and they brought in a new crew. And now I'm just like, obviously for the family, it's just destroying. But like for Alec Baldwin, I know obviously like the victim is that's so sad. But like, could you imagine being like having killed someone? Do you know what I mean? Like by accident, she's dead. Like, and you were just in a film. I can't imagine it. Like, and I love Alec Baldwin. I know that's off topic, but I love his films. I think he's a great actor. But I couldn't imagine like, and she like someone's gonna go to jail for that. Do you know what I mean? Like that's negligence. Very much so. Like when from being on like a few films that's only even small ones, man, the procedure is crazy. It really is. And for a movie of that size, you'd presume, and like anything with guns, anything like that, you'd have an armor, like someone, a professional, like from the army or someone who works with weapons, who would be on set and would like do all that for you, and would like prepare the gun and make sure there's blanks and stuff like that. But one thing that I think people don't know is that when people say a prop gun, you know, those are like a prop gun, like what Alec Baldwin presumably had. Those are actually, from what I understand, a real gun with just not live rounds. They're like they're blanks, so you will get like the same, like obviously the look and the sound in the hand and like the feel and everything will be the same, but they're shooting blanks. Yeah, but like yeah, apparently it was like a revolver, and that thing I'd say fucking, if you got it in the chest, just fucking explode on her. Do you know what I mean? And she's brown bread. Like that's cracked. But it just yeah, man, it's just fucking sad. But like, some heads are gonna roll for that. Do you know what I mean? Like that can't happen. And that's like does he go back to acting? Do you know what I mean? I don't even know if you could go back to acting after that, after something like that. So yeah, that was some sad news. But hopefully, obviously condolences to the family. Hopefully he bounces back from all that. But yeah, that was I think that's the last bit of sad news I have. I have some obviously huge week MMA wise. Actually, before I do that, first up, I don't know what happened to my last episode. It didn't do as well as the other ones. I think I uploaded at a bad time. I also had the word punch in the title because it was for McGregor, and it didn't do as well, so I'll avoid that this time. But thank you for those that did watch it. I hope you enjoyed it. While we're at this point, we're about 20 minutes in, subscribe. You know what I mean? Just a little subscribe for Sammy B. Yeah, man, channel is growing slow. Hella slow. But it is growing. And that's all I need to see. If I see 1 subscriber a week, I'm fucking pumped to put out a new episode. So I'm going to keep it rolling, baby. Keep it cruising. Yeah, man, I've got some MMA new. Actually, yeah, before that, I shot with Rob and David, both David, who has the channel How to Beast, if you've ever seen that. I shot with them down in Club Padel. But yeah, man, just quickly, lovely fellas. David was there with his girlfriend. It just sounds like, just seeing them, the way they like shoot themselves, because they obviously, he has a channel and she helps with his channel, like filming and stuff. It's non-stop, man. It really is. I don't know how it's a different kind of motivation or work ethic, when like every time they walk in, it's just like, hey, can we set up a shot here? Can we set up a shot here? And it's a testament to how good their videos are, or David's videos are in particular, because he obviously I was there filming for Rob, but he just films his own stuff, or like his girlfriend helps him. And man, yeah, just he, like every time he's just, can I get an angle over here? Can I get a shot over here? Change the lens here. While like talking to Rob and making sure he got like his workout in stuff as well. It just looks exhausting. But fair play. Yeah, super nice dude. Hopefully we'll meet again. He's actually he is sponsored by Lumon, so I've actually emailed him a bunch for like different promos and stuff. So he was like, wait, so you're Sam from Lumon as well as the guy filming today? And I was like, yeah. So that's small world, because he's from fucking Texas. He's just here for like a week. Aqua Bruta, that's what that's called. It's so nice. So yeah, shout out to you, David. Nice to meet you. Okay, I want to get into MMA news, but I just don't want to. I don't want to piss off people who like don't listen to it, but fuck it, I don't care. The first one isn't really, it's MMA news, but it's not like directly fight news. So there's been some beef online in the MMA community between Brendan Schaub and Ariel Helwani. For those of you who don't know who they are, I'll give you a brief background. Brendan Schaub was a UFC fighter. He fought in the heavyweight division. He was a top 10 heavyweight contender in the UFC, and famously quit after doing a podcast with his friend Joe Rogan, and Joe basically saying, you're not good enough, mate, and you have other options, so don't let's not get fucking punched in the head by Travis Brown anymore, or fight fucking Mirko Cro Cop and people like that. And Brendan was a real motherfucker as well. He did he knocked out Mirko Cro Cop, who was he's a fucking real guy, and he fought in Pride and shit, and he was in the the Soviet secret police and shit. So yeah, dude's hard as shit. So Brendan could fight, but it was never he was never exceptional at anything. He was called the hybrid. That was his name in it. And he was exactly that. He was athletic and he was good at a number of things, but not great at anything. And he went about as far as I think he was going to go. On the other side, you have Ariel Helwani, who is a real MMA journalist. So Brendan transitioned into podcasts and MMA news and has a show on Showtime. He has about 20 shows, and he famously, dig at him. The guy's a fucking workhorse. I mean that. And from someone who does his own one podcast here, and can't make that work. He does fucking 10 shows, man. He has his own studio set up now. So I very much want to emulate what he does in terms of his content strategy and the setup that they have now with the Thick Boy Studios and stuff. Is just, I very much want to have that one day. So, take motivation from him. But Ariel is an MMA journalist and has been doing it forever. Has worked with a number of different channels. He's worked with ESPN. He works with BT now. He's worked with Fox. He's done his own stuff. He's worked. He's had his own show, and so basically, the feud has, and it's something that I've noticed. Brendan likes to flap his gum. He's a chatter. Do you know what I mean? He talks for a living, but he is a little liberal with some of his comments, and you notice it if you watch a lot of his stuff. And one particular thing he talks about, he does talk about Ariel, has in the past talked about Ariel a lot, and he spoke about one event in particular that is famous, is that Ariel gave or broke the story that Brock Lesnar was coming back for UFC 100. He broke the story beforehand. He claims that he got it from a source, but Dana White claimed that he got it from a source inside of the UFC who leaked the story, and famously banned Ariel Helwani from UFC events and stuff. So that's where the feud began. And Ariel to this day says that he got it from a source, didn't get it from anywhere else. Didn't attain it or obtain the information illegally or anything like that. Had every right to post it. And then basically Brendan, I don't know. I think when he's out with his mates and when he's doing a podcast, he sometimes forgets that there's other people that are going to be affected by what you say. But he basically said that Ariel basically leaked that story and has been really hard to work with in the past, and was supposed to get a job with Showtime but didn't get it, and Brendan apparently got that job instead. And just a bunch of shit. He talked a bunch of shit. And basically over the last week or two, Ariel fucking called him out. Ariel works on his own show again now, which is I think is the best way for him to do his show. I think he's at his freest. I love his show. I think it's where I get most of my MMA news, because he interviews so many people, man. So it's not as opinion based as other shows, because he's usually interviews, so it's you hearing from the fighter, or from the coaches or whatever. So I really like this format. I hope he keeps going. Ariel, big fan if you ever watch. But yeah, it kind of got settled. Ariel was he played hit him up on his podcast and was fucking basically come at me. Do you know what I mean? Which is fair enough. He's been people talk shit on him a lot, and I think Brendan had got a little liberal with some of his comments. So Brendan apologized. It's all been settled. But it was interesting. It's just interesting to see like two people that I regularly, like I watch both of them weekly for different stuff. Maybe not Brendan weekly, but on, I like his, I actually like his fighter interview show, the food truck. I know it's very conventional and like it's just an interview show, but he gets good guests. That's the fact about it. But yeah, shout out to Arif standing up for himself. Well done. And I think it's good, man. I think even though he's kind of been pushed around, like Dana takes the piss out of Ariel the whole time. He's kind of the whipping boy a little bit. A lot of lads, because he looks like a bit of a nerd. No offense, he does look like a little bit of a nerd. So I think people take shots at him, and he stood up for himself. So fair fucks to Ariel. There is a motherfucker, and I repeat, motherfucker of a card on this weekend. It is UFC 267. Yeah, UFC 267 on Yas Island in Abu Dhabi. Here's the thing. Here's why MMA is better than boxing, okay? This card. So in boxing, you get usually like the Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury fight. Who fought in the undercard? Go. I don't know. I know the main event. I know that, and that's just the difference. In boxing, you pay for the main event. You're there for the main event. You're not there for the undercard. The undercard is great, and you can have a few beers and fucking wee, and kind of like it warms you up a little bit. But you're not there for that. You don't know who it is. You're not going for unless you're a real boxing fan. MMA. Okay, I'm going to go through this card just so people can understand. Obviously, people who don't watch MMA won't understand this, but I just need to go through this. Okay. The first fight on the main event. Oh, the first fight. Yeah, this is the main event. It's in the undercard. I can go to the undercard later, but I won't. But right now. First of all, Magomed Ankalaev. He's from Dagestan, from Khabib's neck of the woods. Horrible fucker. And he's fighting Volkan Oezdemir. People don't know who that is. He fought for the title before. He fought DC for the title? Yeah, DC for the title, light heavyweight. So, top previous title challenger is now opening the main card against a future title contender. Then you've got Khamzat Chimaev. People might remember him from last year. He fought fucking 4 times back to back during the Fight Island time. He just stayed out there and kept fighting. And he and then he got COVID, man, and he was going to retire. Apparently, he had an awful time with COVID, and it wasn't great for a while. But he is back, and he is fighting. This is a joke, right? He's a minus 590 favorite. That's disrespectful to his. So this is actually this dude. He's fighting this dude, Li Jingliang. I think Brendan's calling him Li Jingling. It's racist, actually, more than anything. But Li Jingling or Jingliang is a plus 425 dog, which is disrespectful. So we'll see what happens. But like, people are just presuming that Khamzat is ready to roll, and like the COVID won't have taken effect on his gas tank or anything like that, and there won't be any rust or anything like that. But that's a huge. If you fancy the flutter, you put fucking 20 quid on Lee, see if he can pull it out for you. Moving it on up. Alexander Volkov, Marcin Tybura. I don't know Tybura. 22-6 from Poland. Yeah, man. Here's the thing. He's fighting Alexander Volkov, who is 6'7". He is a big motherfucker, and he is tough as nails. Ever since he got knocked out by Derek Lewis, people are like, Volkov's kind of fallen off or whatever. He hasn't fallen off. You get knocked out. You can't. This is the problem with the UFC. They ran with the Derek Lewis thing after that. Do you know what I mean? He fought for a title, and he got big fights off the back of that. So, and Volkov kind of falls to the side a little bit, and now is trying to come back and do his thing, and he's coming off a loss, obviously, and this guy Tybura's coming off a win anyway. But there's a huge height and reach difference. So if Volkov can stay on the outside, he'll probably pop him to bits. But we will see. Here's the good thing about this card, right? It's in Abu Dhabi, which means that for all of us Europeans, it's at like 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. main card starts Saturday night. So go get a few fucking cold ones in. Honestly, if you've never watched the UFC card, so good. It's run well. I don't know if Joe Rogan's going to go to Abu Dhabi. I doubt it. But the other lads, Paul Felder and all, will be there. It's the production is great, and it's if you're going to watch a UFC for the first time, this is the card to do it, because it's as good a card as I've seen in a while. I'll go back to it now, but the top 3 fights on the card are Islam and Dan Hooker. Islam famously is Khabib's, like, they're meant to be the next Khabib, and Dan Hooker, who obviously just fought and is now stayed out in Vegas and is going to go out to Abu Dhabi and fight now. Apparently he got paid. Apparently Dana was like, we need someone for the Islam fight, and he was like, well, look, if you can get my family over here and you can pay me a good amount of money, I'll do it. And apparently he got paid. So delighted for Dan. Hopefully he goes and does the job. The odds are on this, they have Islam as a minus 650 favorite. That's disrespectful to the number 6 lightweight in the world. So I'm hoping Dan comes in with some nice knees, really makes Islam work for the takedowns, and then it's just dangerous off the bottom. But Dan's nice and long, so I don't know, man. I'm fucking buzzing for that fight. That's going to be sick. Then it's over to the little fellas. Peter numbers 3, Jan, and Corey the Sandman Sanhagen. People know Corey just fought TJ Dillashaw in a great fight. Actually fucked TJ up, and actually won the war, but didn't win the fight. Just showed a little bit of inexperience in how we fought TJ in terms of how the fight is scored and how points are scored, and that was really the only reason he lost. Just a little bit areas of control. TJ was given, or he gave TJ a lot of outs with some of his like M&I rolls and stuff like that, and Kenny gave TJ's back in the elements, even though he wasn't in danger in the eyes of the judges. He wasn't in control. He was losing position. So great fight, man. Peter is Russian boxer, has nasty hands, and like I don't know. I think from watching Corey's last fight, right, and TJ's a real dude, and like is will probably go for the title again and might win it again. And to see what Corey was able to do to him, and like how he stayed along and his variety in his attacks and stuff like that, I think I don't know. I think Corey might get it done. Peter is shorter, not as long, but his boxing is great, and he's got such a tank. So we'll see. They can both go 5 rounds. I know that. So either way, that's going to be a cracker. Absolute cracker. And then the main event, which I don't think... Obviously, the big boys get the main event, but I don't think Jan Blachowicz and Glover Teixeira is a better fight than either of the two that come before it. But still, great fight. Big boys, nothing wrong with that. Jan, you got to respect him. He's come off losses and then had a title run, won the title. And and then he obviously fought Izzy there in his last fight in like a super fight, and was bigger, was tougher, showed some variety on the feet, and like looks good everywhere. But Glover, even though Glover is fucking 40 years old and made of, he's like, I don't know what it is with those Brazilians, man, but they can just keep going, and Glover is made a resurgence, and beat some real dudes on the way up here. So you can't take it away from him, even though like people are like, he's 40, he just can't compete at this level anymore. Man, 40 is the new 30. Do you know what I mean? They can't. There's nothing like experience. You know what I mean? And being comfortable in a situation and having done it before, and Glover's been there before. Do you know what I mean? He's been there before. He's experienced it all before, and this might be his time, man. This is it. Do you know what I mean? This is the last time he's going to get a shot at it. So he's going to be throwing the kitchen sink at him. And I think, here's the thing: this is the day for the dogs. If you like betting the dogs, here you've got Glover Teixeira, Corey Sanhagen, and Dan Hooker all big dogs. So yeah, if you're game for a punt, there's money to be made there. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, man, some card. So I'd ask you all if you've nothing to do on Saturday night, are you just chilling? I know Ireland opened up there for the club, so everyone's probably out in the fucking pints. I have to move away because that would have popped really bad. But yeah, man, look great. I saw the line for coppers and all. Who the fuck wants to go back to coppers? But still, I'm sure the young crowd, like, yeah, I feel bad for all the college lads not having a chance to go. So go get have your kisses in the alleys and your. I just don't wonder how far I take that joke without it being inappropriate. So I'll leave it there. And that's, you know what, that's maturity, knowing where the line is. Yeah, but like there's nothing like those times. Do you know what I mean? Getting off your nut and like running down Harcourt Street off your face and like trying to jump into a taxi. You know, it might have been a little pretty one on the go. You never know, you might have been jumping in with some company. Hey, but sometimes not. Sometimes not. Most of the time not. You're getting in with your boys, you're piling in after a greasy takeaway, or you know, there'll probably be a bit of pushing and shoving, you know, outside. It gets a bit rowdy there on Harcourt. Yeah, I don't miss all the wannabe hard man stuff, and that includes me. I definitely had that in me still, but you know, the fucking just always scraps. You know what I mean? Pushing and shoving. You're just like, man, what are we doing? I just want to fucking have a few pints and try and get me healed. So yeah, I'm going back at Christmas. So I think I'm gotta make a little run into like Crystal or something just to see how the other half lives a little bit. So yeah, I'm buzzing. So that's great. See, I've heard. I haven't got like confirmation. I haven't talked to anyone about it, but I haven't talked to anyone about it, but I'm just really sad right now. No. But I heard that's gonna look so weird. But I heard there's just weird rules going on with what you have to do if you want to go to the bar, and if you want to go sometimes restaurants transition into clubs, and apparently everyone has to leave and then come back in. I don't know if that's true or not, but just yeah, I'm not game for all that shit. It just seems like they're using whatever they can to kind of keep. I don't know if this is true or whatever, but it does seem, from the outside looking in, or from this side, it does seem like they have an issue with giving up control or giving everything back. I don't know, but it just seems semi-illogical. I don't know. There seems to be illogical decisions made the whole way along, so I'm a little confused. So yeah, final bits. What are we at there? Actually, here, do you want to listen to this, right? I found a new tune thing, you know. I want to drop it in. So it's Bad Habits, right? But it's got. That's big tizzy, you know. But yeah, I just came across that the other day. I was like, man, that thing, because I hate the tune. I am Bad Habits. It's just, I don't know what happens with Ed Sheeran, but I think it's because his songs do so well. I think it's good that you just hear them all the time. They do your head in. But now if I hear him, it pisses me off. But now when I hear the remix is nice. So yeah, that was just a tune that I found. I'm trying to think to any other major bits. Oh yeah, some of you know Don't Tell Mum are a band that I worked with and did the music video for their last music video for Simple Things, and we actually did a live set as well. I don't think I ever talked about that, but we did a live set in Camelot Studios in Dublin, and it got like 20,000 views, which is it kind of got like wiped under the carpet. Not wiped under the carpet, but like we went viral. Do you know what I mean? That went viral, which is like remarkable to say, but it did. Like, and that's just like that channel had like 2 videos on it and like 10 subscribers and got 20,000 views. So I don't know how but that was just, yeah, I kind of forget about that, but it's such an interesting story. But yeah, those lads are, well, two big pieces of news. One, their single comes out in 2 days, I think. Yeah, in 2 days. So go and stream the shit out of that, man. At Don't Tell Mum. It's my favorite tune of theirs so far. And then in terms of the video, I think you guys will really like it. We did it was very much last minute, and the lads wanted to get a video out for it before I left, and we ended up shooting it in Jordan's house, and doing like a house party kind of vibe. But it came out so good, man. Really happy with it, and I think everyone's going to be kind of surprised because it all happened very quickly. There wasn't like a script; it was very loosely done, and we just kind of went in with like a lot of energy, and then credit to the lads who they kind of knocked it out of the park with performances and stuff. So yeah, very interested to hear what people think. I'll be keeping an eye on the comments and stuff to see what people thought, but the lads love it, so hopefully that goes well. And they're playing their first gig this week with this week or next? Yeah, this week. Yeah, on the 1st with Aslan, which is gonna be fucking crazy. We're gonna do something for the second show they do on the 30th of December. Where I'm gonna do like a little behind the scenes movie for them, so that's gonna be fucking sick. I can't wait. Proper buzzing for that. So, but yeah, he told me that tickets went on sale for that. So if you want to check out, just go on to Don't Tell Mum's Instagram. All the info will be there, and they have a Facebook page and stuff. But yeah, they're working hard, man. So the live show will be fucking lit, I promise you. And their tunes are. And watch the live Camelot Studios if you want to get an idea of their music and stuff. It's on their YouTube channel. That they do we do a Q&A. They do like 5 or 6 tunes, maybe more, and it's like super. In my opinion, looks really good. Super professionally done. Like actually, the best one I've ever seen. We had David, who's one of Jake's mates, was doing the desk for it and fucking killed it as well. So all in all, it was a very good experience. But yeah, it's a big week for them, so go show some support, because you clearly don't like supporting me. Because I ask people to subscribe and they just don't do it. And here's the goal, all right? You know, we're near the end. No one gives a shit. No one's going to fucking watch this far anyway. So here we go. If you stayed this late, here's the goal, right? Could you imagine this? Big man, I've got a little studio. Who's playing? Fucking pricks outside playing music. I wonder if you can pick that up in the headphones. You better not be able to. Imagine I had a studio, like a podcast studio, and I was making money on this podcast at some level through advertiser, through sponsors, and I could make it I could get 6 guests in. I got a 6 studio, and for me, just for Sam, and we're talking about Sam right now. We're not talking about you. I obviously I love you guys. You guys are part of the Pear posse. Like that? No, it's shit. If anyone has a name, or this is a good one for the comments, okay? If anyone has, so you know the way, you've got ways of different words to describe a group of people. So you got gang, mafia, tribe, squad, group, posse, as I just said. Posse. If anyone has another one of those, that might start with a P, that would have some alliteration with the pair, that'd be great. I'm trying to find a word to classify you guys as. I just think it'd be funny. But yeah, man, it'd be so sick. The goal, why I'm doing this now and why I want to be so committed with this, because I can see a future where I do this. Jesus Christ. Oh man, I'll go fucking nuts. I'll go nuts. Lucky I'll slide this window back when this is done. I'll go crazy. Yeah, it's kind of been sporadic, this pod, but I'm just saying I very much love I love what this is now, and I love podcasts. I'm really enjoying it, but to have a consistent place where I could do it, and to actually if this one day became a stream of income for me, I don't know what that is, but that's my happiness levels, I guess, going up, and because yeah, it would just be sick. And I already know the whole I know the podcast space and stuff. I'd love to get a guy in to help with the desk and help with the setup and stuff. So yeah, hopefully this grows. But from what this is right now, I'm really enjoying it. I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. I'm getting more comfortable So that's, I don't know if that's good for you guys, because at the start I was like, School of Rock reference, little Robotronic. But now I just don't care, I think, is the important thing. And I think having an unfiltered platform like this and being comfortable like enough to just talk as if I'm talking to like the lads, which is essentially who, like, at the other side of this camera I picture like just my mates. So yeah, so if there's someone who doesn't get my style of humor or like things to talk about, you probably think this podcast is shit. And maybe it is, Helen. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. But maybe it's the best thing ever, because I watch the podcasts I watch, they don't talk about anything. They don't look as good. Or like, I don't know, this, it's just in focus. Yeah. I don't know if this looks great, but it, well, I think it does. Stop being afraid to say things look good. It looks good and it sounds good, because I put a lot of time into this shit. I got to tax it off though, didn't I? So I tax right off right here, this all this stuff. But I enjoy it, so I'm going to keep doing it. And yeah, so week on week is coming in, man. And if I keep posting it, they have to see, because some more people have to watch them. Surely, like, it's so hard. No, it's great. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to go down to the gym now and assault one of the punching bags for 8 to 10 minutes and surf online for the rest of that. And then come back and just keep working and get this uploaded. Oh yeah. I know I've said this like 3 times to people to be like, hey, and why don't you comment this? I'm actually commenting things, or like I'm actually asking for you to comment things that I would be useful to me. When do you listen to podcasts? Because I put it out on Monday morning last week and no one's watching. No one. So maybe I'm just going to do it like maybe on a Friday or a Sunday morning I'll put it out and you guys can figure out whenever you want to watch it. Because I know you guys have different times when you like to watch it, so I'll keep playing around with it, and I need to figure out how to do a thumbnail for this as well. I wonder what the big thing was for this podcast. Maybe Squid Games. That was pretty interesting. I have a pretty cool take on that. So yeah. Bim, boom, bim, boom, bim, boom, bim, boom, bim, boom, bim, boom. Maybe I'll start the podcast with that this week. Actually, that's very smart. Okay, I'm going to do that. All right, lads, I'm rambling now. My back is sore. I need to get back to work. So thank you all for watching. Subscribe. Please subscribe. Can you please subscribe to the channel? It's getting really... Like, I got to go home with Christmas and be like, what have you been doing, Sam? Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go home with Christmas and be like, they're going to go, what have you been up to? I'm going to be like, oh, I'm doing a podcast now. Oh, yeah. Oh, sick. How's it going? Pretty good. How good? Like, give me an example. How how many views the last one get? 31. So I gotta think about some stuff. Bye.